also in the house. Hubie, been a fun time here at Duke, and been a while since you've been in the building. What are you looking forward to tonight?
Well, first of all, I'm having the ball because there's a lot of great memories. As far as the game itself, I expect 2 high-scoring teams. A lot of pressure on Duke. They already have 4 losses in the league, in 4th place. 4 other teams have 5. Virginia Tech is one of them, so they got to get it together tonight.
Yeah, hey, Jay, Virginia Tech coming off their biggest win of the season against Virginia.
That was a huge win, especially on the road, and Justin Robinson is playing as well as any player in the ACC, averaging 18 a game over his last 10. But the key for Virginia Tech is going to be defense. They played great defense for them against Virginia. Can they follow it up against Duke, the #1 scoring team in the league?
Good matchup tonight, contrasting styles. Virginia Tech, the highest scoring team in the conference, actually the best shooting team in the conference, against the second best shooting team in the ACC. We are underway. And Virginia Tech up court. This is Justin Robinson, the National Player of the Week. Had an outstanding week in their last 2 wins. As we take a look at the starting lineups, Robinson, Wilson, Alexander Walker, Bibbs, and Blackshear Jr. up front for the Hokies. And they turn the ball over on their first possession.
Well, you're looking for that. There's a lot of beautiful continuity there. They were open for a split second at the foul line area. Let's see if Virginia Tech can really capitalize.
Grayson Allen drives baseline. He gives it right back to the Hokies.
Duke started the game in the 2-3 zone, and this is going to be a team that plays a lot more zone as we go down the stretch. It keeps their big guys out of foul trouble, and they don't have to get out and guard ball screens quite as often far away from the basket.
Blackshear Jr. with that last miss for Virginia Tech. Zeros on the board. This guy's been shooting the ball incredibly well. Trent Jr. that time a little bit short, out of bounds. It'll stay Blue Devils basketball.
Well, he's been shooting at a very high clip with the 3 ball, and then also the fact that he's a good foul shooter. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes, Jay, if he would come out.
Yeah, my sense is that most of these guys are going to come out, but Trent Jr. has shot the ball better than I expected. He was a big-time scorer coming out of high school, but and I think he had the reputation of a shooter, but early on in the season wasn't making shots. Now he can't miss. I mean, he's been 15 of his last 24 coming into this one.
Yeah, leads the conference in 3-point shooting at about 45%. Got to mention too that the Blue Devils are missing Marvin Bagley III, the 3-ball good. And Duke on the board first.
Yeah, I like the play, mainly because the most dangerous guy is always the guy out of bounds, and he picked up that screen in that left corner.
He's so good at shooting behind screens, gets it off quickly, and his shot preparation is really good, even though he hasn't been shooting the ball as well.
Robinson inside with a nice speed, and the bucket good by Blackshear.
Well, I liked his game. Just watching him in practice last night. Got great hands, good movement. And also, with Wilson on the line, Jay, I don't know if they're going to put him there against the zone because he's not an offensive threat.
Exactly.
The ball from outside, not known as a great 3-point shooter. And the Hokies with the ball.
Now you got to get back.
On the move quickly, missed the finger roll. Robinson did, had an easy look. And here's Grayson Allen back the other way.
I'm surprised he didn't play the glass.
Allen from deep. A rebound is going to go to Duke and Carter as we check in with Allison.
Well, Jonesy, as you mentioned, Duke without Marvin Bagley for the 2nd consecutive game. He remains day-to-day with a mild knee sprain. He has not practiced, instead just getting treatment on that knee, including stimulation, manual therapy, try to strengthen it so he can return soon. Also of note for Duke, Trevon Duval back in the starting lineup. He came off the bench against Georgia Tech. Coaches wanted to send him a message that he had to be better in every area, defensively, taking care of the ball, properly distributing. They said he played much better and presents a better matchup against these strong athletic.
And Allison on cue, Duval with the layup inside. He ended up playing pretty poised in that Georgia Tech game, had 9 points.
He's so big and strong, especially for a point guard, and his length and big hands. He's got a lot of game, but he's going to be sharing the point guard duties the rest of the way, it seems like, with Grayson Allen.
Deep jumper from outside is nothing but net. That's Justin Bibbs with the 3.
Right now, just watch Wilson on the foul line against the Duke zone. Every time they throw him the ball, he's wide open. He can turn around and score. He's passed out. If you're gonna break the zone, you have to have someone there who can score the ball.
Anytime you play against Virginia Tech, you have to take away the 3-point shot. It's an excellent three-point shooting team.
Nice look inside by Allen to give the ball to Wendell Carter, who will go to the free throw line. Fouled in the act. The foul is going to go against Justin Robinson. That's his first personal foul. Buzz Williams, the head coach of Virginia Tech, former head coach at Marquette. A guy that knows something about putting guys in the NBA. Coach Jimmy Butler and Jay Crowder when they were both at Marquette. Carter knocks down his first free throw.
Jay, this young man has a ton of talent. Talking to you yesterday, I mean, you had great adjectives about him.
I love the way Wendell Carter plays. Every rebound he grabs, and he grabs a lot of them. He grabs about 10 per game. 3 of them on the offensive end. Every one of them's with 2 hands. I can't think of a time that I've seen him either in person or on tape grab a rebound with 1 hand. And as you know, that you don't see that very often. He's a big-time player that has played every minute of his young career with Marvin Bagley, who's a 21-point, 12-rebound-a-game guy in the ACC, and still Wendell Carter's averaging like 15 and 10.
Well, you know what I like all of that description. The fact that he only gets 9 shots a game, also emphasizes that he gets it done all over.
Shooting 60% from the field in the ACC is leading the league in ACC games.
Some talented bigs on this Duke roster. They lead by 2. Under 17 minutes to go here in the first half. Robinson lets the 3-ball fly near the end of the shot clock. Coach, I just noticed one thing. I don't get a chance to hear your zone-busting strategies in NBA. This is fun.
Well, listen, in the old days, everybody was playing zone. some form of zone, okay? But the middle is wide open, and they have to put somebody there that can score, break it down, and that will force the wing people to play man-to-man.
Yeah, Blackshear can't stand so close to Devin Wilson. He's been right on top of him.
The ball lost the handle, turned it over.
Look out here.
Hokies on the run out.
Nice.
Bibbs with the long jump shot, nothing but net. Justin Bibbs with a couple of threes. Grayson Allen shaken up during that last sequence. And Virginia Tech with a 1-point lead. We're going to step back and call a timeout on crossover night. Starting off here in Raleigh-Durham.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And LegalZoom. Get legal help for your business and family.
Some great moments under this roof here, I would bet.
Well, for me at that time, Vic Bubas was going to retire at the end of the year. They had already been to the Final Four 3 times, into the finals. They had 9 guys playing in the NBA and ABA. Chuck Daly and I both learned a ton of offense from Vic Bubas.
My role was a little bit different from yours, Hubie. I was getting Coach K sweet tea with lemon and a USA Today. That was my job. And after 3 years, he advised me that my coaching career, I should get into broadcasting. That was the best thing I could do in coaching.
Coach K celebrated his 71st birthday yesterday. 5 national championships at Duke. Really become the signature of this program. That last foul against Wendell Carter, his first personal foul. Hokies with the basketball and a 1-point lead just underway. Robinson up court looking at that Duke zone defense.
Nice.
Good feed underneath and a nice looking layup by Chris Clark.
See, because when they send the player on a baseline, he's going to be open, because if you put a guy who can score on the foul line, he must be matched up. That came out of a timeout. You'll love to see that.
And then Kerry Blackshear set a really good screen on Wendell Carter so they could have a lane to make that pass.
Ended up in a great bucket for the Hokies.
You can see the movement underneath that Hubie Brown was talking about. And there's the screen just kind of taking Wendell Carter out of the play so they can make that pass to Chris Clark. Chris Clark is such an active player. Runs, gets to the glass, one of the best rebounders, especially defensive rebounders in the ACC.
Meanwhile, Gary Trent Jr. at the free throw line. Talked about him a little bit earlier, shooting it very well from behind the three-point line. His father, Gary Sr., former 3-time MAC Player of the Year, played in the NBA for 9 seasons.
Let me tell you something. His dad was a tough hombre. His dad could score, boy. He was a banger and could really deliver.
The Shaq of the MAC.
Yes. 1-point ball game. Duke in this zone defense defensively. Defense has been a little bit of a shortcoming for the Blue Devils this year, right, Jay?
Yeah, they can get moved around a little bit, and another pretty good screen. Looked like he held Bolden on that one.
Yeah, but the idea was good, though, Jay. It was an excellent move, and unfortunately now that's 2 layups that they've blown.
Trent Jr. over to Allen. Allen okay after being hit in the face a little bit earlier.
So you post up against them, they're going to try to front you. They'll fight you down on top, and that's what you'd like to do. And then rough them up and force them to pass out.
Trent Jr. off the mark from downtown. Carter with the rebound, kicks it out to Trent Jr. Quick spin move on the baseline, and that's going to be a traveling violation. That's the 5th turnover against Duke. Well, Thursday night on ESPN, we'll have the Pac-12 showdown between in-state rivals. Number 17 Arizona, number 25 Arizona State in Tempe. Coverage beginning at 9 Eastern time. You can always watch it on the ESPN app. Arizona won 84-78 back on December the 30th. And Bobby Hurley doing a nice job there this year with Arizona State, former point guard here at Duke.
Another team, Arizona State, that can really score with excellent guards. Defense has been a little bit of an issue for the Sun Devils as well.
Clark kicks it back out to Robinson. Robinson having a tough time here. Now 0 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, and he's had all open looks.
Carter can make that. Comes up short here. The ball with the board.
Virginia Tech plays a lot of man. They also play a lot of matchup zone. And Duke's going to try to run their man stuff against whatever they see.
Trent Jr. corner 3 is pure.
I said early on about how good of a three-point shooter he is. In the ACC, he's averaging over 50% in the 3-ball.
Coming into the game tonight, he had made 15 of his last 24. Into the elbow area, that jump shot off the mark by Blackshear. It was Blackshear that had the game-winning rebound and putback against Virginia in that overtime win on Saturday.
What you have to do when you're getting this many open shots is take the time, talk to the kids. Just everybody's got to relax a little bit because the shots are there.
Allen out top. 8 on the shot clock. Carter puts it on the deck and loses the handle. Alexander Walker. And the follow good by Justin Robinson.
Great play by Robinson. You notice not everybody in a white shirt or everybody in an orange shirt ran back. And you had both Grayson Allen and Wendell Carter going back to contest that. And the fact that everybody didn't run to get down there is a little bit concerning, I'm sure, to both coaches.
Mentioned the fact that the Hokies are coming off their biggest win of the season. Quick turnaround to get up and take on Duke on the road like this. Duvall hits the 3. He's got 5 in the ball game.
Really the challenge, I think, for Virginia Tech in this game is can they match the defensive effort that they had against Virginia? And this is going to be a game with a lot more possessions. Can they stay connected defensively?
This is Walker from the edge. Trent Jr. with the board.
I'm surprised that they don't go for the extra pass.
Yes.
Because if they make the extra pass, Jay, they're going to get wide open shots. And then they must go back to the movement on the baseline on the overload situation. I think Duke will have a difficult time matching up.
Even if Nickeil Alexander-Walker just made a shot fake on that last play. Just made a steal.
There you go.
Walker into the middle. Great fast break, and there's the layup. Good by Ahmed Hill.
Now just remember now, you look at the score. They've already missed 3 uncontested layups. So Duke has got to regroup here right now because you hate to see 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3s.
Hokies 7-5 in conference play. 18-7 overall, and that's a whistle and a foul going to go against Virginia Tech. But the Hokies trail by 1.
Well, most of the time when you're moaning about your transition defense, it's because your offense hasn't been good to put your defense in a bad spot. That's what happened right there.
And for each player would be filled in. Not this year. For every team they face, they leave these spaces blank. All that's featured on the sheets are the players' pictures, names, and stats. And then it's up to each individual player to fill in the rest of the information in the scouting report. The hope is that way these young guys will retain more of the information. Kind of like how you used to do it, right, Jay?
Yeah, well, they stopped doing it that way. They started filling it in for us when they saw that I was doodling on my scouting report and drawing cartoons and stuff.
Man, the homework never stops at this place, huh? Trent Jr. into the paint, and a soft touch. He's got 7 in the ball game, leading scorer for the Blue Devils.
You can feel it every time he catches it that he's an offensive scorer, Jay.
Yes.
Just the way he moves. He reads the defense, plays off of it, and he has such a soft shot.
And they need him right now because Gary Trent Jr. and Grayson Allen are really the only offensive players on the floor. Because of all the turnovers, they want some more activity defensively. The whole front line are bench players.
6 on the shot clock. They got to get busy here. And the jumper is good by Devin Wilson, the 6'4" redshirt senior. Averaging only 3 points a game, gets his first bucket.
Well, you know, you look at their team, they start 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and only 1 freshman. And the freshman is one of their better scorers.
And Devin Wilson's made a huge difference on this team the last few games. He had 7 points, 7 rebounds against Virginia. And he's really picked up their defensive intensity, being a 5th-year senior. He played football last year. He left the team to play football.
Wow. Trent Jr. missing from the corner. Allen thought about it.
Well, usually he pulls the trigger on those. I'm surprised he didn't.
Jack White checked into the ball game during the last break, as did Antonio Brankovic with the ball now. Big man out of Florida. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Trent Jr. with a long 3. And he's got 10.
Everything, anytime you ball reversals here tonight, at both ends of the floor, you get somebody wide open.
Those are NBA threes.
And you really have to, as the ball comes to you, you have to move as the ball moves. You can't be off of Gary Trent.
Hubie, that's that same pass it looked like on the baseline.
They should run that every single play. He's been open because they freeze the man on the wing. They have another guy go to the corner, and that is open. That position is open.
Chris Clark with the easy layup underneath for Virginia Tech. Grayson Allen, the senior influence on the floor right now for the Blue Devils. At that breakout as a freshman in the national tournament, trapped in the corner, shot clock at 2, got a jacket.
Wow. Wow. Now that's a highlight shot. He had absolutely nothing. And you know that he has confidence. I know that. I know he hasn't seen a bad shot yet. Okay, but we all know that. But I just liked how he just got that up there with a ton of confidence.
Grayson Allen has worn a lot of hats this year.
Turn and look. There he is.
Kick it out. 5 on the shot clock. Clark in the corner.
Don't leave the ball.
Lets it fly. Makes them pay, Jay. Cannot leave the ball.
Now, was that my imagination? Did that ball hit the glass?
It might have. We're so far away, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
2-point game. Up here in the relatively new perch at Cameron Indoor. White left wide open. Tip back out to Allen. He lets it fly. Out of bounds.
Well, that was definitely off the Virginia Tech.
Brian O'Connell and Don Daly are officials. And they're going to rule Virginia Tech basketball.
Well, Grayson Allen making a big-time play as the shot clock was going down. Give him a little window. He shot right through it, but Virginia Tech with the answer. You can't leave the ball.
Sports Illustrated. Go to sitvoffer.com or call now.
With LaFonso Ellis, I'm Adnan Burke back in our studios. Villanova and Providence. Villanova won 4 straight, 7 of 8. Here's Mikal Bridges.
One of the most versatile players in the nation. Been a little quiet offensively lately. That's a great start for him.
On the road, they have been successful right now, down by 1. Also, Clemson, Florida State. Clemson has the edge, and Michigan leading Iowa by 13. Jonesy, back to you.
All right, Adnan, over here, Gary Trent Jr. doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Duke. He's got 10 points in the ball game. Duke leading by a bucket. Duke once again without Marvin Bagley III, who leads the conference in scoring and rebounding.
Now, this is not a great offensive rebounding Virginia Tech team. They're not getting a lot of second shots, but they are overloading the zone. They can get good shots in this.
Good block that time by Carter.
Excellent rotation on the baseline to pick him up. I'm surprised that he didn't stop and do a little pump fake. Could have gotten fouled, a potential three-point play.
Here's Duvall out front. Duvall came off the bench in the previous game at Georgia Tech a couple of nights ago. Back in the starting lineup tonight. Shot clock winding down to 2. Allen got it.
Well, I haven't seen him in person until tonight. You have seen him many times, Jay. He shoots the ball well on the move,
Yes.
it seems.
He's one of the best. I think he's one of the best shooters in the country that has not shot the ball well all season long. You know, early in the year, he had 37 points against Michigan State. He couldn't miss, and they were really contested, difficult shots. But in ACC play, the only thing he hasn't done well all year is shoot a good percentage. But you know, last game against Georgia Tech, he had 23 and started shooting a little bit better. Played very well against Notre Dame, but he's clearly off to a great start here.
The big upset in this game so far to me is that Robinson he's having a very difficult night, and he's been wide open.
Off the Carter miss. Hokies with the basketball. Robinson pushing it up court.
Well, one thing about Justin Robinson, he will keep attacking. He is having a great year.
At 20. There's the feed inside and the easy bucket.
Not only
for the
is
Hokies.
he open on that, but the man coming from the left corner is also on the other side ready for the pass for a layup. It's there, and they're going to have to make a major adjustment here at halftime of covering that.
And Robinson ran through Allen. That's going to be a second personal foul, Coach.
Now just keep an eye on this. Now watch, once that ball goes in, you see the movement to the left of the basket. That guy is open. So you have a man defending in a 2-on-1 situation. So now it comes down to, do you read the defense well enough so for you to get a shot? If they take it away, give it up.
Hey, Blackshear is from Evans High School in Orlando, a certain high school of the late, great Daryl Dawkins back in the day down in Orlando. Pretty good lineage there for Kerry Blackshear Jr.
How'd you like to go there? No matter what happens, you'll be the second best dunker at best.
Carter wheeling inside. Trent Jr. still got it stuck on automatic. He's got 13.
Yeah, he looks great.
He's ready to shoot, and that was a terrific pass by Wendell Carter Jr. Carter could have taken that shot against a double team, and I don't think anybody would have questioned it, but he found the better one by looking outside.
See, if you're going to play at that next level, you have to be able to catch and shoot if you're going to be a perimeter player.
Off the miss, here's Allen. The ball. Back out top to Devon Duvall. A little miscommunication and another Duke turnover. That's their 8th of the half.
You see Wendell Carter, when he gets the ball inside, he just got cut off on the baseline, then got doubled, and immediately recognized that Nickeil Alexander-Walker came down to double and kicked it right out to Gary Trent Jr., whose shot preparation is really good.
Foul line jumper is good again for Blackshear. He's got 6.
I don't know. I think I could see Jay suiting up at halftime with an orange shirt. Because he would get more passes there than he got in a month or two.
Then they'd figure out that was the wrong thing to do.
Allen inside. Nice looking turnaround hook just off the mark by Carter.
You know what's funny, Hubie? My guess is that the Duke coaches are telling Wendell Carter, don't go up to guard that. You can give late pressure to it because that's just a 2. You know, you don't want to give up a 3. This is an excellent three-point shooting team. And I think they want to give up tough 2s, but they don't want to give up 3s.
They hit that short corner again and missed the layup that time, Blackshear did.
Dunk the ball with 2 hands. Anytime you're in that position, dunk the ball with 2 hands. Stop trying to be fancy, and make a movement to try to beat the defender. Go up over the top of the guy.
Duke with a 4-point lead here at Cameron. We'll be back right after this. On January the 23rd, Kansas trails Texas Tech by a game in the Big 12. Kansas looking for their 14th straight Big 12. Is that right? 14 straight Big 12 regular season titles, and the beat goes on and on and on in Lawrence.
You know you're doing well when you have to take your socks off to put new rings on.
I'll tell you, I watched him in a clinic at New Jersey one day for all the coaches, the high school coaches. He did an excellent job, Jay.
Oh, he's
on the floor with the team.
Great coach. I'll tell you what, if Virginia Tech wants a chance to win here, they have got to get on the glass and start rebounding.
Well, there's a chance to rebound, and they come on way with the defensive board and finish the possession off the Duvall miss. Duke out rebounding them by 11 already.
Oh, he missed the cutter.
Blackshear kicks it out for 3, and the jumper's good by Justin Bibbs. He has 9.
Yeah, the kid said, the passer just said, "Yubi, stop it already." And we knew we had a layup, but we did what Jay said. We went for a 3. Okay.
That's a foul line jumper. That's no good to them. Duke leading by 1, under 3 minutes to go now in the first. Inside to Wendell Carter. One-on-one coverage here.
You'd like to see him make a quicker move. Just go right into it.
He hit the ball inside. Scoop shot is short. Carter rebounds it and sticks it back. That's a man-sized rebound.
Early on, Jay, you made a good point. He gets 3 offensive rebounds a game, so you know he's not afraid of contact.
Yeah, he's so big and strong, and just the two-handed rebounds that he comes up with. I think he's a big-time player, and I think he's only going to get better.
Young man that considered not only Duke, but Kentucky and Harvard was on his short list of schools. Loose ball out of bounds. It'll be Duke basketball. Let's take a look at Jay's top 10. College basketball. Bagley not playing today. Ayton. Carter is 9th on the list.
Ayton,
some talented bigs, Jay.
Yeah, and DeAndre Ayton of Arizona. You could flip-flop Marvin Bagley and DeAndre Ayton, and you wouldn't get much of an argument from anybody. That's how close they are. Ayton is bigger and stronger. Bagley is quicker off the floor, and I don't think I've ever seen a big player that's as quick off the floor multiple times in a row as Marvin Bagley III. Maybe the third is he can get off the floor 3 times in a row faster than anybody.
Yeah, 3 jumps.
The thing I liked when I watched them when they played for Virginia was the quick jumping and the fact he's got the left-handed shot.
Yes.
And that's a major plus.
Yes.
Blackshear off the miss. And here's Grayson Allen, Duke leading by 5 with 1.5 to go in the first.
Well, Allen's having a nice half. Don't you think so? They're trying to make things happen in the paint.
Yeah, he's their point guard right now. He's handling the ball the most, and if he's going to knock shots down at that level, he can be an even better passer because you have to come out further to guard him.
Sure. 14 points for Allen and the biggest lead of the game for Duke. Buzz Williams calls timeout.
Although he did have a 27, 28-point game midway through the season, then had that great game in the NCAA championship game against Wisconsin, where I think he had 15 or 16 points, but made some big plays. In his sophomore year, he had to play every minute, it seemed like, of every game, averaged over 20. And he's having to adjust playing with so many big guys this year. It's been a different type of year for the guards.
We've got a whistle and a jump ball going to be called. Possession arrow in favor of the Hokies.
Not knowing his game, when you look and you see he averaged 21 that year, then 14 and now 14 this year, yeah, I guess it's a major adjustment for him, less shots.
Yeah, and last year was primarily due, he had a lot of different injuries, so it was a really disjointed year for him. A lot of things happened. This year, having the 2 big guys to play with, and he's not shot the ball as well as he's capable. I mean, you can see how capable of a shooter he is with his deep range and quick release. He'd be averaging close to 18 to 20 this year if he'd just made a normal percentage for him, which is pretty good.
And Allen up court off the loose ball.
You got plenty of time.
Feeling in rhythm. Allen a little bit strong.
Oh, here you go. You got a 4-on-2 here.
Numbers, and the Hokies got ripped. It's the second turnover.
Do they look lackadaisical to you?
Yes, they do.
I mean, to me, it's like jumping off. They shot around last night with more enthusiasm than what's happening here tonight.
I think Virginia Tech looks a little bit shell-shocked. They, as you mentioned, they missed some layups early,
right?
And they've not weathered it. And right now, I mean, this could be kind of a you know, say a knockout punch, but if Duke's able to score here going into halftime, this is a big play if Virginia Tech can get a stop, they could feel a little bit better about themselves. If they give up a score, it's a different story.
All right, in the last 6 minutes, they continue to get down inside the zone. Now, they're not getting a shot. They're not making a shot. But of the contact, they're not getting the call either.
Well, they're not. I didn't think that Virginia Tech was going up into the contact. They're double clutching.
Well, that's what I mean. See, early on, they didn't get a couple of calls, so now all of a sudden they're going up and they're not making the strong move, and they're settling. And consequently, they got a lot of misses.
I think that's exactly what's happening. And, you know, you make a couple shots and get a couple stops, but getting stops has been the issue for this team. They've not rebounded particularly well. They're not a rim-protecting team, and it's been run and out for them. Virginia Tech's not gotten many offensive rebounds, if any.
I was waiting for Robinson to have a great half, only because of how well he has been playing, and unfortunately there's been no leadership in the scoring department from him.
Duke basketball up by 8. They're going to run it down and get one here. DeBall out top. See what they run out of the timeout. 12 seconds to go.
And you're always concerned not just about the initial shot, but the offensive rebound.
They blitz DeBall. He picked up his dribble. Here's Trent. 4 seconds to go at the buzzer. And that's the end of the first half of play. Duke ending the period on a 7-0 run to lead by 8 points. Gary Trent Jr. doing a lot of the work early. He has 13, and Grayson Allen with a strong rally in the second half of the first half. He finished with 14. Duke looking for its 21st regular season win. As we go down to Allison.
As you've worked almost exclusively on defense of late, how would you assess your team's defensive performance, specifically on the perimeter?
Thought we did really good. I think the thing that caused so many problems for us is their offensive rebounds. We're playing late in the clock. They're shooting contested threes. We're fine with that. They've made a lot of them. I don't know how many, but we can't give them layups. They had 2. Foul trouble hurt us a little bit. We got in foul trouble because we were too late reacting to the ball. But if they're shooting 25-foot contested threes late in the clock, we're doing a good job of not giving up layups. But we have to finish the possession with a two-handed rebound.
Buzz, thank you so much.
His team trailing at the break by 8. And Grayson Allen coming alive in the latter parts of that first half. Finished with 14 points. The senior showing great leadership. Halftime here. Let's send it back to Adnan, Seth, and LaFonso in the studio.
All right, Jonesy, thank you very much.
They didn't rush anything. So we know that the 3 ball is there, but the rest of the people have got to pick up the offensive slack here.
Duke once again playing without Marvin Bagley III tonight as we check in with Allison.
Well, guys, it wasn't just the three-point shooting of Grayson Allen and Gary Trent Jr. that made a difference for Duke in that first half. It was also them taking care of the ball. Associate head coach Jeff Capel said that they had 7 turnovers in the first 9 minutes of the half, but finished with 8. So they did a much better job in the latter part of the half of taking care of the ball. Also, guys, keep an eye on how they start this half. The last 2 losses for Duke, they went into halftime with the lead. Players felt like they haven't had that same intensity in the second half. Coach Capel said it's all about playing a full 40 minutes.
And they're going to have a bad possession here, Allison, to start the second half with just 1 second to go on the shot clock. Looking a little bit tentative on that possession.
Yeah, but I thought defensively it was easy to guard. They were not using any screen and rolls or screen and pop or any type of an action. It was easy for them to switch and stay in front of the man with the ball.
They got to get it off quickly here. The lob inside. Carter couldn't get it. And it's a turnover to start the second half for Duke. Their 9th of the game.
Well, I'm like Jay. I'm looking for Robinson to come out here and really get involved. And then also for them to do better movement, especially in the overloads. The overloads will get them excellent looks inside of the paint area.
They've been able to hit Blackshear at that foul line area a lot in the first half. Jumper from outside by Alexander Walker is good. The 3 ball And they've knocked the lead down to 5 in a blink.
Well, I like his game. He's only a freshman, but he shoots the 3 ball 37-38%. He takes 5 threes a game. He's been quiet tonight, but he's having a good year.
Played on the Canadian under-18 national team. Whistling a foul as Duvall will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair.
Alexander Walker hit a huge 3 against Virginia to help win that game and wound up with 12 points in that one. And if he can start knocking down some shots, that last shot he made really didn't come off anything, just a windshield wiper around the top. He was just passing the ball, and Duke just didn't get a hand up.
He had 12 points in that win against Virginia. Meanwhile, Duvall at the free throw line. You know, guys, I watched that Duke-North Carolina game a couple of games ago for the Blue Devils, and Duvall at one point came down the lane, and Hubie, he rose up after beating his man, and he slammed it, and it's so dynamic, so athletic, Jay. He looked like a poor man's Russell Westbrook on that play.
No, he's a super athlete.
Whoop. Did someone say Westbrook?
I tried to slide that one by you, Coach.
Really poor.
Wait a second. That guy is the energized bunny rabbit.
Well, the ball back in the starting lineup. That's a good thing for him. That foul line area, it's Wilson.
And they're not even guarding Wilson there. No. He needs to look at the basket. Because Duke's going to stay with the three-point shooters. They may give up a contested 2, but they don't want to give up an open 3.
Corner 3, no good. Tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be Duke basketball. Well, Saturday, this is an absolute must-win for the Big 12 regular season title. Still up for grabs, and these teams chasing Texas Tech. Number 20 versus Virginia, taking on number 13 Kansas at Allen Fieldhouse, 6:15 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Jayhawks have earned at least a share of the Big 12 regular season title. Allen with the miss.
Yeah, they ran very nice baseline movement for Allen to come to the corner. But at this end of the floor, just think of this stat. 0 foul shot attempts for Virginia Tech. And the thing I don't understand is Duke is flying at the man to block the shot. We have seen 0 pump fakes and adjusting and then going up strong. Instead, they continue to challenge, and Duke comes away with either a deflection or an intimidation.
Well, as you say that, Coach, they must have heard you because Blackshear going to the free throw line. These are their first foul shots of the game. Yeah. And he misses the first. He's a 74% free throw shooter on the season. Blackshear had 7 points in their previous game. Kobe Bryant, his favorite NBA player, wearing that number 24 as well. Knocks down the second free throw. He's got 7 in the game. They trail by 6. Hokies looking for their 19th win of the season, looking to improve to 8-5 in ACC conference play.
Nice.
Speed Carter couldn't make the catch.
Well, he's having a tough night here. He has 4 turnovers now at halftime, but he has 2 blocks.
And 8 rebounds.
Yeah, 4 offensive rebounds out of that, which is beautiful.
The ball in the baseline, nice feed inside, whistle. And the foul is going to send Delorier to the free throw line for Duke.
Yeah, very nice pass in traffic that time by Duval.
Foul's going to go against Devin Wilson, his second personal foul. First team foul, Delorier at the free throw line. Sophomore out of Shipman, Virginia. Not that far from Charlottesville.
Well, it's interesting with Marvin Bagley III not available to play, how it changes the rotation for Duke, and not only just in the front court, but overall. And not having the activity level of Marvin Bagley is a marked difference. He's such an active, hard-working player and so productive.
Out of the game with a mild right knee strain.
Well, you can't take away a guy who gets you 20 points and 12 rebounds without expecting that there might be a little shortage, a little shortage here. And when you think about it, for the fact that he's a freshman, it's about time. That, to me, the interesting thing about that is in the ACC, only 12 guys have done that. And no freshman has ever done that in the history of the ACC, Jay.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And the way he has played, he's got 18 double-doubles on the season. His consistency has been absolutely spectacular.
Can I stop you guys? You're talking about missing Bagley. They got a bunch of 5 stars behind him, okay? they got some McDonald's All-Americans out there, too. In next year's class, is
Hey, wait a second.
pretty good too.
We're blowing smoke on Bagley. Will you stop it already? I mean, come on now. Well, what the guy is doing is eye-opening, all right, for the ACC.
Yeah.
When you think of the guys that played as freshmen in the ACC and could not accomplish something like that.
Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, the number 2 and 1 recruits. They have the top 3 recruits coming in here next year, actually.
And 4 of the top 10. That doesn't include Trey Jones, Tyus Jones' brother, who's a top 10 recruit.
5-point ball game. Double team and a nice pass out of it to Ball, who couldn't cash in.
Oh, nice play.
Allen out to Trent Jr. Shot ready and bucket.
If you're counting now, Gary Trent Jr. is now 4 for 7 in the 3-ball, and he has not forced one shot. Everything has been catch, look, shot.
And even if you're going to stunt off of him to try to give a little bit of help on a drive, you'd better be ready to recover because he's ready to shoot as soon as he catches it. That was really, really pretty basketball.
Yes. 16 points in the ball game for Gary Trent Jr. Stunting like his daddy right now. Waxier wheeling inside, lost the handle.
Virginia Tech's not getting any penetration against the zone. It's all off the pass, nothing off the dribble.
Allen a little bit strong from downtown. Good hustle by Duvall. And he careens into the front row out of bounds. It'll be Hokie basketball.
Right now off this Grayson Allen penetration, Justin Bibbs helps off just a little bit, stunts to try to stop that penetration. It's just an easy guard-to-guard pass for a catch-and-shoot 3. It's almost like you can't leave Gary Trent.
So let me get this straight. Trent Jr. and Wendell Carter made a pact amongst themselves that they were going to go to school together? That almost seems unfair. Bucket good by Bibbs. He's got 11.
Listen, he came in that first half, made 3 threes. And he's like their 3rd leading scorer on that team. So you'd like to see him get hot because right now I don't know what's the problem with Robinson, why he cannot get decent looks.
Nice feed inside, big to big, and a big finish by Delorier.
You see them play a lot, Jay. Is that automatic?
Yeah.
Automatic?
Wendell Carter's a really good passer, and he's a willing passer. Sometimes I think his coaches would like to see him be more aggressive off the catch and go right into a move because he's got a really good turnaround jumper over his strong shoulder. He's got a good jump hook.
Walker turns it over. Gave it right to Allen and a foul by the Hokies. Trailing by 8, the same as it was at the break when we come back to Cameron.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Heineken. Open your world. Enjoy responsibly. And AstraZeneca.
I'm very sorry.
Recently.
Luke May is shooting about 49% from 3. And he's averaging about 10.5 rebounds a game. The last college player to average over 10 rebounds and shoot over 40% from 3 was Kevin Durant.
Wow.
At Texas. That's amazing what Luke May has done this year.
First time I saw Durant play was out in Phoenix, and it was a big game, and they were underdogs. He's playing for Texas. I'm sitting next to Rick Barry, and all of a sudden the game's going up and down, up and down, and I said to Rick, I said, geez, I don't know, this kid is really thin. He's really not doing much. And Texas wins at the buzzer. We get the stat sheet. He had 36 and 16. He had 36 and 16 rebounds and like 4 block shots. But he was one of those kind of guys, and that's how he plays in the pros. You really got to stay on top of what he's doing.
Yeah, great point, Coach.
Yeah.
Clark cross court. Walker from deep. And one and done at the offensive end for the Hokies.
Yeah, Jay, you made a great point in that first half, and that is Duke is holding them to 1 shot.
1 shot.
That's it. 1 and out.
Carter on the block, wheels quickly this time, and gets the reverse.
You love that. You love that when they go behind the backboard and come back up on the other side. The greatest in the history of the game that I've ever seen was Moses Malone. Boy, he would do that all night long.
Well, this big man for Duke, Wendell Carter, with a slick move here.
Yeah,
Coach.
just keep the move. Now, see, he hooks him a little bit, and then he comes up on the other side so that eliminates the shot block because of the rim. Excellent.
Your grandmom, Fran, to the Duke game. He said, I'll get you seats. Take care of the tickets. She was absolutely shocked, but needless to say, the two of them are here tonight enjoying this game. They live locally in Raleigh, and we're totally thrilled to be able to come to this game as guests of Virginia Tech and Buzz Williams.
Boy, Buzz with a big heart on Valentine's Day, huh?
Yeah, Grandma not cutting him any slack. She's wearing all blue.
Yeah.
Not even hiding it, huh? 10-point lead off the miss for the Blue Devils.
And Justin Robinson had as open a look as he's had all game long.
Boy, Grayson Allen has been on point all night. He's got 17 after that three. Came into the game shooting 37% from downtown, and Duke now with its biggest lead of the night.
There you go.
Nice feed to the corner. The three ball good by Walker. Nikhil Alexander Walker out of Toronto.
When you do that, drive in the middle and split the front of the zone, and then you have a guy in the painted area, that corner opens up because it's mathematics. They don't have enough people to cover that corner.
And that's why the dribble penetration, I think, can be so debilitating for this zone.
Yeah, you're right, Jim.
Carter and Blackshear sumo wrestling down there. A lot of contact. Boy, that's big man territory down there. There were some sparks coming up over the paint.
Yeah, just keep an eye on this now. That could have been an offensive foul. The ref standing right there. But excellent move. The thing I like, he shoots right-handed, he shoots left-handed. He has multiple moves. He's not afraid of the body contact. He'll take you strong to the rim.
Carter out of Atlanta, Georgia, averaging a little over 14 points a game on the season. Fifth in the ACC in blocks per game. Let's go downstairs to Allison.
Well, guys, and Wendell Carter Jr. has been putting in extra work with Marvin Bagley III out. He was saying after practice yesterday, working with assistant coach Nate James, he said, I missed some bunnies in that Georgia Tech game, and I just have to make sure I'm consistently able to score around the basket. He said, I'm one of those guys, I don't always need to score to affect the game, but I have to have more of a scorer's mentality with Bagley out, so he was putting in some extra work.
Well, he might have used it all up in practice. He goes 0 for 2.
Well, to me, that's a major negative of Duke as they get into the tournament, that they shoot only 68, 69% on the foul line.
And that includes Gary Trent, who never misses.
For as much as Virginia Tech has struggled here in the second half, they're still only down 10. Oh boy, they continue to miss easy ones at the rim. The culprit that time was Walker.
Now, that's the fifth uncontested one.
Yep.
Okay?
Carter makes them pay at the other end with a three. He's got 9. The lead is back up to 13. Carter goes, lost the handle. And here's Grayson Allen.
Well, Virginia Tech was not organized at all. They needed somebody down on the baseline to distort that zone. They were standing right next to the defenders.
I agree with you 100%. The old Cardinal rule is when in doubt, split the two top of the zones with the dribble. Now they have 2-on-1. Something good will happen.
Like that. Great ball movement, and Galurier finishes. He's got 5.
Well, the bench is giving them a little life tonight. Not a lot of great production, but they've done all the little things to help out here, the guys that came in.
Well, Virginia Tech came into the game the best shooting team from the field in the conference at 51%, but right now shooting just 37% from the field and continuing to have a lid on that basket.
We've got a matchup right here.
Duvall, the lob, and the finish.
You always love it when your point guard has vision, and he could sense that the trailer was coming on the left side of the lane. Well played.
I am the greatest.
Coach Jay Will.
Look at my guy Jay Will. He's like a man of the people, right in the student section. I'm glad he got dressed up for the game.
It's just nice and casual, Jones.
Yeah, he's got his casual swag on tonight. Jay Will and amongst the people here at Cameron Indoor.
Jay Williams was honored at halftime as one of Duke's 7 Naismith National Player of the Year award winners. Pretty cool.
Clark inside, lost the handle, but threw the foul on the play. Here's a look at the ceremony at halftime.
What a great player Jay Williams was. He can still play. He makes half-court shots all the time.
How about that?
That's nice that he's invited back. They're inviting me back to when they invite all the former second-team All-ACC tournament performers. Should be a great crowd for that one.
Carter inside. A whistle and a foul. Mike Krzyzewski, a well-preserved 71 years old, full of energy and life and vitality. And several gold medals with USA Basketball. Most recently in 2016, won it in 2012, 2008 as well. A couple of World Championship gold medals in between that.
Just think how many times he had to lace up the sleep on the sneakers over a 43-year career. I mean, it's amazing.
It really is amazing.
Allen with the elbow jumper is pure.
Yeah, they continue to follow him. You continue to follow him with no help stepping up, you're in trouble. Because as soon as he clears that screen, it's up and in.
And finally, Robinson making a little noise at the offensive end. Been a relatively quiet night for him with only 4 points.
Yeah, you wonder with a 16-point deficit, knocking that in if it's too late.
Ball kicks it out to Trent Jr. A big first half.
Oh,
another
boy.
3 on the way. A rare miss for Trent Jr. The ball with the board over to Allen.
And another offensive rebound. That one just a long rebound that Duke more alert than Virginia Tech going after it.
The ball calls out the play.
That was beyond the NBA 3, that release.
The lob. Carter couldn't get it. A whistle. Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you something. We showed the picture a little bit earlier, you and Chuck Daly. What was the clothing allowance back then? That's what I need to know. Because Chuck, God rest his soul, was one of the best dressed men on every sideline.
Well, listen, whatever league he was coaching in, he was the best dressed guy in the league. Because there was a Duke alumnus up there in Virginia that had a great clothing store, and he supplied Chuck at a major discount.
Tell you what, Chuck Daly always looked clean on the sidelines, looked sharp.
I don't care if it's 100 degrees out. We had to wear shirt, tie, and sport coats when we recruited in the summertime. Chuck didn't even sweat. I'd be soaking wet under my arms on my jacket and everything. We'd be in some playground watching guys play inner city summer basketball. And Chuck looked great.
His hair was always perfect. Just like that jump shot from Allen. He's got 22.
Well, this is as comfortable as Grayson Allen has looked shooting the ball, perhaps since Michigan State, where he had 37.
Well, I think they needed this also, didn't they, Jay?
Yes.
From a confidence standpoint.
He's played very well all year long in every area except his shooting percentages. He's missed a lot of shots and at times hasn't been as aggressive in looking for his shot. But that is all a memory tonight. He shot the ball very, very well and has seemed to really hunt his shot without overdoing it.
Allen with the lob. Carter, express yourself, Wendell.
Yeah, when you're playing man-to-man, that can't happen. That cannot happen. But give Duke a lot of credit and give Allen the fact that the vision that he saw it and then could deliver the pass.
There's not a lot of verve on this Virginia Tech side right now. They've really struggled, and as Bill Raftery used to say, they need a little woo-woo.
Well, they got a little reprieve there with Bibbs inside for the layup. He's got 15. Allen on the wing out of Jacksonville, Florida, Providence School. Carter kicks it back out to him. Ready to fire and good. Man, this guy is hotter than fish grease right now.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, he and Trent have showed you catch-and-shoot basketball tonight. They do not need a dribble to get up in the air. Catch, shoot. Takes a lot of work to be able to do that and shoot a high percentage.
And then Grayson Allen is all fired up. Let's go back to you.
No doubt, Jonesy, the first game of a doubleheader here on ESPN.
Against Arizona as head coach, looking to break that streak. Meanwhile, Grayson Allen's been on fire for Duke.
Well, give him a lot of credit now because he's 9 for 14 from the field, except, look at this, 7 for 12 in the 3-ball.
He's had so many good looks, and we give credit also to Wendell Carter Jr. He's kicked the ball out when he's been doubled or when he didn't have something, and every time he's kicked it out, it seems like it's led to a really good shot.
Yeah, he's got 4 assists, Jay. And another turnover by Virginia Tech. Pass never made it to Bibbs. That's their 7th turnover.
Well, you can see they're struggling. They have absolutely zero confidence in regards to that we're going to turn them over defensively. They've not been able to do that. Duke has done a terrific job once they hit after about 10 minutes of that first half.
Yeah, if Virginia Tech would just penetrate into a gap, make 2 play 1, and then kick it, they could get something going, but they're not doing that.
No, not at all.
Great ball fake by Trent Jr. The jumper is wet.
Now,
He's 19.
Everything we keep talking about Virginia Tech to do, this guy Trent is doing it at the other end. As soon as we say it, he does it at the other end.
They're now 12 and 19 from the field, guys, in the second half, almost 70%. Robinson into traffic.
Well, the percentage that Duke is shooting would be a great percentage uncontested, but the truth is most of them have been uncontested.
The ball with the rebound off the miss. Under 7 minutes to go. Duke looking at its 21st victory of the season, potentially. Great night of basketball here on ESPN and ESPN2. The crossover night in full effect. Allen. He passed up the one that was closer.
That's all right. The main thing is if he shot it, it wouldn't have been the right thing to do. Back it out, run some time, let Mike call. Mike is up on the sideline telling him what to call.
They're basically running their man sets.
The ball had it knocked away. Carter inside, cleaning up the mess. Carter with 13 points.
He's the guy that at the end of the night, all of the stat sheets, he has something on every area. What do you think about that?
I agree. He's going to have 5 or 6 assists. He'll have a few blocks in this game. You know, double-figure rebounds, and he's already got double-figure points. It's been a very, and he's more than just a workman. When you say workman-like, it almost sounds like it's disrespectful to his talent. But yeah, he's not only super talented, he works.
Wendell Sr. played professional basketball in the Dominican Republic. Mom played at Ole Miss. Got basketball in his lineage. 4 on the shot clock. Allen takes out his do-it-yourself kit. Delorier with a big-time rebound. Allen, why not?
Duke does that as well as any team in the country. They get an offensive rebound, not an immediate stick back. They find an open 3-point shooter.
Robinson on the baseline. Made a nice find, but boy, the lid on the basket for Hill. And another board for Carter, his 13th. Well, Coach K looking like if it keeps trending this way, he's going to get himself a pretty good birthday present, albeit a little bit belated by a day. The lob inside. Carter never got airborne.
Well, the old story, you know, you don't throw the pass until the guy calls for it, or he gives you a head fake.
Duvall had to launch.
Come on now.
Robinson, they got numbers and they throw it away. Had a 3-on-2 and they couldn't convert.
That's been the entire evening tonight. Things just have not gone well. Anytime that they've had something good that could happen, just take away all of the layups that they missed. And even there, that was a 2-on-1, should have been a layup. Things have just not worked out well. They fumbled a lot of passes today in traffic. You know, it's not their game here this evening.
Yeah. Jay, we never saw this one coming, not by this margin right now. Anyway, what does it mean for Virginia Tech, who Joe Lunardi has as one of those last bubble teams right now.
Yeah, I think probably for an NCAA tournament bid, this would be one, if you could get it, would be a huge road win. But I don't think it's an expected win, even with Marvin Bagley the third out. You know, Virginia Tech has not been as competitive as we expected. And I think they're better than they have shown. But because of Grayson Allen and Wendell Carter Jr. and Gary Trent, the way they've played, this has been a really good performance for Duke without Marvin Bagley III.
4 minutes to go. The ball out front. Trent Jr.
You like that he doesn't force things. He could have taken that shot, but he doesn't force it.
Very good. That's a great statement.
Comes up short that time on the jump shot. Robinson passed up a shot. Drives and is fouled by Duke. Time out of the floor. 3:35 to go here on campus.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by La Quinta. Book at LQ.com and win at business.
23-2. Jay, I saw Jalen Brunson play for the first time a few years ago in the FIBA World Championships. A great, smart, heady, crafty point guard, and he continues to trend in the right direction.
A lefty that can take a matchup down into the post, and he's got really good post moves. He's got sort of an old man game, and I mean that as a compliment. I think he's the National Player of the Year to this point in the season.
Wow, really? Blocked and recovered by Duke.
Well, they've done an excellent job in attacking you on the dribble in the paint when they thought you were going to try to get a shot off. You got to give them a lot of credit for that.
25-point lead, about 3 minutes to go. Feed it into the post. Bolden kicks it back out. 4 on the shot clock for Allen. Trent Jr. forced to launch. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Trent Jr. down in the corner, but he gets up okay. Well, Saturday, this one's an absolute must-win for the Big 12 regular season title, still up for grabs. And these teams chasing Texas Tech. West Virginia, Kansas, number 20 against number 13. 6:15 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. The Jayhawks have earned at least a share of the Big 12 regular season title the past 13 seasons, and it looks like Trent Jr.'s night is pretty much done with 2:50 to go.
Well, he had a fantastic game. He has been shooting the ball so well all season, but especially in ACC play. You mentioned it. He shoots over 50% from 3. And this is his 13th ACC game. That's a large sample size.
Looking at him from a pro standpoint, he shoots almost 50 from the field. He's over 50 in threes. And then the key, 84% foul shooting. That tells you the guy's got the total thing together.
No question. Good size. He's a really good player.
In high school, averaged about 32 points a game. The number 8 recruit on the ESPN list, assembled by Paul Biancardi. Does a great job ranking those prospects. Nice dime inside, and the flush by P.J. Horn.
Well, it was nice to see a guy come out of the corner and the dribbler in the middle of the floor have vision to catch him.
Bolden out top. Allen on the wing. A whistle and a foul going to go against the Hokies. Let's check in with Allison.
Well, guys, plenty to celebrate here in Durham. Coach K's.
William Avery and Corey Maggette left after 1 year. Luol Deng in 2004 left after 1 year. I think the difference is now, at least in my judgment, first of all, it seems like we blame every ill in college basketball on one and done. And it's just there's more money available in the NBA. They're willing to take these young players. And now, when I was playing a million years ago, you compared yourself to another player by saying, hey, who's recruiting you? What awards did you win? Now you look at a peer of yours who's leaving for the NBA, and you're saying, wait a minute, I'm as good as that guy, or I'm close to as good. I should be thinking that as well. It's just the culture's different now. And I don't know that Coach K is necessarily embracing the one and done thing as much as he's just recruiting the best players. Right. And if they're going to leave, they're going to leave. I tend to think, and I can get off my soapbox here, but
No, you're making sense.
I think that we're missing the boat in college of like shaming these players. We should be welcoming them to college. And if they stay for 1 year, they're more likely to come back and finish. They give money. They have relationships with these schools. Why we'd want to put up a stop sign and say, hey, if you're not going to stay 4 years, because we're not saying that to Jordan Spieth when he went to Texas. Hey, son, if you don't want to stay 4 years, don't come at all. That really bothers me for some reason.
Yeah, great point. And a lot of great point. As the ball knocks down a three, Hubie, your thoughts on how it's changed?
No, I just want to say one thing. We never talk about the players that come out early, do not make it. They get on the second round, not guaranteed, and then all of a sudden they disappear and they're over in Europe or someplace. The money is nowhere near what you can make here.
Right.
But an agent talked them into thinking that they were going to go in that first round. Jay, we have seen it year after year. And then all of a sudden, a young player will come out, he'll go to a team, and he gets drafted by the wrong team that is a playoff team with a ton of talent, and he can't adjust because the competition on a daily basis is so strong for minutes when you get on one of those playoff teams.
I agree. And Hubie, my fear is that if we go to saying high school players can go out, those guys that leave college and maybe made a mistake are going to be leaving high school making a mistake, and they're going to have no college to go back to. That's sort of my fear.
I love it. And it's said that, unfortunately, it's the agent who will convince the family and the player to make the move.
Right.
A lot of static, a lot of noise surrounding a lot of these kids these days.
Well, the funny part, Coach K thought I should leave after every year. It was just a different reason.
Mark Jones, Jay Billis, Hubie Brown back on campus for a night together. Part of our crossover night as the Hokies get a slam from P.J. Horn, but much too little, much too late. As Duke will go on to win this one, 74-52 for their 21st win against 5 defeats, and they improved to 9-4 in ACC play. Grayson Allen leading the way with 25 points. He was 7 of 15 from downtown, and a great belated birthday gift for Coach Mike Krzyzewski. Hokies, meanwhile, fall to 18-8, 7-6 in conference play on an off night for Buzz Williams' gang.
Well, I like the adjustments tonight, Jay.
Yes.
You know, after that first 10 minutes, it was a little rough for Duke, but I thought they made the adjustments, and then the two players on the perimeter got hot to shoot that high percentage. Trent and then Allen behind the three-point line.
And you really like the adjustment of having the ball in Grayson Allen's